Hi and welcome. Today I have a couple of art cards for you. My art cards are 3x4 and not artist trading card size, but you can make them whatever you want. You can make a tag if you want. I'm starting with Bristol smooth paper. To me, it's the best that you can blend ink on. Maybe there's better. I don't know. I haven't tried them all for sure, but I prefer it. I'm using a stamp from Faded Type, and I correct myself. I've found myself calling it Faded Text. That it's wrong. It's Faded Type. And I'm stamping with Versamark Claire, and I'm going to be using some white embossing powder. So I'm doing one whole strip and then just a little more at the top of each one. I'm making 2 cards. They're going to be a little different. The focal image is going to be different. But I often do the art cards in sets because I give one to a friend that is going through a rough time. So here I'm putting on the white embossing powder. Using white embossing powder is probably one of my favorite embossing, I don't want to call it techniques, but product, I guess product. Now you're not going to see a huge result because it's white paper underneath. I try to do my embossing first because then you don't have to worry as much anyways about the static clinging or the wetness of inks grabbing additional embossing powder. And you can put your distress ink right over top of it and it won't affect it. So if you look at the card, finished card, it kind of looks like the white embossing is on top, but it really isn't. So I'm going to be using my new favorite combo. I just love this color combo. I mean, I love salvaged patina, which is what this is. And I love salvaged patina with other colors. I like it with green. I like it with rusty hinge. But and to do them separately. But I love combining salvaged patina with evergreen bough. And it's kind of a recent discovery for me, so I kind of am really enjoying it. And so much so that I only had the little evergreen bough because I hardly ever used it, so I still had a little one left. And my recent order, I got a big one because that one's running low, even though I hardly ever use it. So I'm putting it on there. I'm intentionally trying to leave some lighter spots than darker spots because I kind of like that look. And now I'm adding the evergreen bough. And I've done it before where I just add that around the edges, but I am adding it over the whole thing because I like the color that it is giving me. But again, I am intentionally leaving some spots that are not quite covered, so it looks a little varying in color, which is good for me. Another thing I could have done, I didn't think about till right now, but you could splatter some water on it to make some variation to the color as well, so it would remove and look like a little splots of lightness underneath. That would be something you could do. Don't often think of everything as I'm working on it. So I'm going to use some frayed burlap. I like frayed burlap with salvaged patina, except for when I'm going to use like rusty hinge or something, then I'll go with vintage photo. And I'm keeping it to the edge, not really bringing it in hardly at all. And I have this stencil from All and Create. I hope I'm saying that right. I really don't know. That's what it looks like. So I'm using like the little ring marks. There's so much stuff. I've got like 4 of them, I think, that are just this random design stuff. And I think this one's my favorite. I like the fact that it's just got some random stuff on it. I like the rings. And so I'm just kind of putting some random marks in frayed burlap again. And I'm making them similar, but they don't have to be exactly the same, and they're not exactly the same. So I'm not worried about, are they going to look exactly the same? I'm also going to put a couple marks right on top of the white embossing, just to kind of grunge that area up a bit. I don't want that that area to look pristine while the rest of it does not. And I'm going to do some collaging on it. My focal images are going to be totally different, and I kind of like that idea in this. I mean, I could make it exactly the same since I'm keeping one and giving one away, but I just like also to try test things out and see how things are going to look if I make it a little different. So here I'm taking a magnolia flower and on one, and I'll be taking a, gosh, I'm not even sure what that is, maybe a peony, the blue flower. almost everything is a digital download. There's one exception. The round item on this tag is a stamp from, I think it's from Field Notes, but it might be from Eccentric. Let me look real quick. Okay, the circle stamp is from Eccentric. Field Notes has one too, but it's a little bigger. I often have a bunch of those stamped onto some cardstock with maybe some old paper inked on it so that it's ready to go. So that's the only non-digital item. And just so you know, I do take a little time between getting the background ready just to kind of choose my items. I may have a few choices ready, but sometimes I have it right down to this is exactly what I'm going to use. And so you may just think, oh, this has been so easy to put together, but I did take a few minutes to select things. So we have two very different looks here on the left, at least as far as focal images. On the one that's left now, on the left, that's like a totally different color scheme coming in on top, but yet it goes well with the background. And the one on the right now, the color scheme is going to kind of be very similar, and I don't want to say monotone because that sounds really awful, but it's where the colors are just in the same family. And I like to do things both ways. You can tell me in a comment which one you prefer. It's going to be hard for me to decide which one to give away. So I have this little piece of ephemera that's a blank label. It's partially blank. And so I just took a little tiny stamp from Field Notes. It says figure 1. Actually, the stamp says figure 1, figure 2, and I just inked the figure 1 and stamped that. The circle on this one, it was from I think it was from a bird page, but honestly I wouldn't even be able to tell you which one. So you will not see that in the description because I have no idea which bird page it was from. And it's just a scrap. So if I have an interesting looking leftover scrap, I will punch a circle out of it and for later. And in this case, I saw one, oh, that will go well, so I used it. So I'm almost done. The only thing left I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little stamp in the upper left corner of both cards. It kind of looks bare up there. So I thought I would just put a stamp, and this stamp, it's either Eccentric or, let's see, it is from Eccentric. So what I love about both those stamps is because you can just make little stamps like that. And that's the last thing. And you'll see final pictures coming up. If you haven't subscribed, I invite you to do that. If you like this one, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time.